So today I'm going to bring you through a van conversion, a 1995 Ford E150 cargo van. We're decking this out mainly for trips that we do to the river. We'll have a bed and some conveniences, store our river surfing stand-up paddle boards, river surfing shortboard, stand-up paddling raceboard paddles. Let's take a look. This is a view of the van. So inside the van, pulled up all of the rubber matting, pulling out one seat, couldn't get the other one out. Sanded this down, applied some Bondo, first application, then we sanded it down and added the second. There was actually a hole right in here, so we still have to sand this down. Cleaning the van, we found way more grime, dirt, and junk in this van than we thought. Once we were done cleaning the van, we started to put the flooring in and insulation. We just used Reflectix for our insulation. Putting on the Reflectix, it's 3M Super 77 adhesive. This just sprays on. Cut the Reflectix to the size that you need. We put it all in the roof and the side. With our flooring, we put the Reflectix underneath. We find it doesn't make any noise like some people say when you walk on it. We glued this Reflectix in first, then we put the vapor barrier in, cut plywood, tapped it in with self-tapping screws. This is all 1/2-inch plywood. I used these self-tapping screws that I got at Home Depot. So I did countersink them. So I used a Forstner bit, screwed it right in, and it just went through the floor. To cap the wheel well, just cut out some 1/2-inch plywood, made it to shape what we wanted. Use these little L brackets, and I had this side rail right here, and I just tapped into it. Did that in a number of places. And I also screwed in brackets on the side. We also wanted to do something with our door panels. I used underlayment, and I used these screws, 1/2-inch. I'd actually maybe get 3/4 inch. These are a little tight. And these screws just self-tap in. And then we decided to also put rope pulls on. The pulls just give a little character to the van. And here's the two back doors. When we factored in the bed, we decided we wanted it to come up 16 inches from the floor. Most things that we want to put under the bed are about 16 inches, buckets to bins to whatever it might be. We're gonna cut 2 supports that go here, one on one side, one on the other. We're gonna run supports across. We're gonna mount them into these existing wells. I think it'll turn out pretty nice. So now I've framed out 2 of these will be our bed support. They will go in on the wheel wells. So these fit. So now I'll pull them out and I'll sand. So now I've sanded the support, set them both into place. I mounted the supports in, and I decided to throw in these L brackets for a little more enforcement on the floor. So we have the sides in. We're putting in a futon mattress, 54 inches by 6 feet. 2 side supports, one on each side. These are 2x4s. And I'm gonna put in 4 cross pieces or cross members, 2x3s, and they're just cut to length to fit into the actual van. So this is the bed. I will drill everything in place. It's already been sanded. I will put in the plywood bottom. Here's the full bed frame. Pretty happy with it. It's really strong and I think we're good. We're gonna measure out the plywood, and we've got this 4x8 sheet, 1/2-inch plywood. We're marking it out with a chalk line. We'll make a cut and then we'll put this first piece in, and then we'll follow it up with a couple other pieces. Started to rain here, so it's a little loud.
Here's the plywood base. The bed is done.
So now that the bed is done, we're gonna move on to the walls. I got a bunch of pallets, so I'm gonna strip those. We decided to do shelving before walls.
In this area, we are going to put up shelving. We're making a cardboard template.
Here's one of 2 side support. The other's out being sanded. It'll go right here. We'll have shelves that run across.
View of the shelf, mostly done, installed.
Now that the bed and shelves are done, we are going to move back to the walls. Here's all the slats. We're now going to do a light sand to them. We want to keep them a bit rough, but no splinters.
Here's a view of the first 3 slats. I'm using the same screws that I used to put in the floor. I also mounted this center brace piece so that the boards have something to rest against in the middle. View of the side paneling. Going to work on the ceiling today. Going to use the underlayment, cut it into strips, and then mount it. Here's the start of the ceiling. And moving on to the floor, we decided to use this Polyshade stain and polyurethane one-step process. And so we finished the van to the point of our first trip. Here's a look of everything loaded. Added these retired harness parts to hang a hammock. We made it to the Locksaw River Pipeline Wave, our first trip in the van.